Hello everyone, very good afternoon to one and all, and I welcome you all in HT lecture. So, whether my voice is audible to one and all, and can you see my presentation? Please comment in the chat box whether my voice is audible. Okay, great, great, thank you. So, in the last lecture, we cover the electrical analogy between the electrical circuit and uh, Fourier's law of conduction. Okay, so analogy means what? Finding out the similarities between the two different systems. That is nothing but analogy, and that analogy is useful to find out the thermal resistance for the conduction. Okay, conduction heat transfer, and we have discussed that RTH, how to find out the RTH, that is the thermal resistance for the heat transfer in conduction. Okay, then we have discussed the problems, simple problems on Fourier's law. And in today's lecture, we try to understand what is meant by convection. That is the second mode of a heat transfer. Okay, in a brief introduction. So uh, we have discussed the conduction, and conduction is because of two mechanism, that is nothing but lattice vibration and a free electron transformation. Okay, whereas there is no sufficient movement of molecules. Okay, so molecules does not move, but they can vibrate at their main position and they transfer the heat in. And most important thing is nothing but they should be in a physical contact if in case of liquid and gases. So we understand that the conduction is happening in a solid, in liquid and gases also. Okay, so whereas the convection, the next point is our convection. Second mode of heat transfer is convection. So in convection, uh, actually the molecule transformation, the heat is carried away from one region to another region because of a molecular transformation, or the entire region of a fluid is transported from one region to another region, and because of the heat is carried by that particular fluid from one region to another region. Okay, and this heat transfer is nothing but a convection. This heat transfer is nothing but a convection. Okay, getting everyone? The complete fluid region is transport from one region to another region, or from one place to another place, and that particular fluid carry the heat. Okay, that particular fluid carry the heat from one place to another place, and that particular heat transfer is known as a convection in a simple language. Now the convection is happening because also happening because of a mixing of a fluid also. Okay, it is happening because of mixing of a fluid also. If one fluid is mixed, or we can say that the hot fluid is mixed with the cold fluid, so in that case we can consider that particular heat transfer from hot fluid to the cold fluid is also considered as a convection heat transfer, is also considered as a convection heat transfer. Okay, so here the convection is the transfer of heat within a fluid by mixing of a one portion of a fluid with another, by mixing of a one portion of a fluid with another. Okay, convection is possible only in a fluid medium. Okay, that is the most important case. to to happen this particular phenomena, fluid need to flow, or the molecules need to flow. Okay, then in a solid, okay, in solid there is no actual movement of molecules. Okay, so that this particular phenomenon is happening only in fluid medium. Okay, fluid, in that liquid also, in that gases also. Okay, all gases and all liquid are the subset of a fluid. Okay, are the subset of a fluid. Okay, combinedly we called it as a fluid. So the convection is possible in a fluid medium only, because to happen this convection need to flow. Okay, molecules need to flow from one region to another region, or from one place to another place, and during that movement they carry the heat with them. They carry the heat with them and they transport the heat from one place to another place. Okay, so convection is possible only in a fluid medium and is directly linked with the transport of medium itself. It is directly linked with the transport of a medium itself. The effectiveness of a heat transfer by convection depends largely upon mixing motion of a fluid. Okay, how they will transport the heat from one fluid to another fluid. Consider you are mixing the two liquids. Okay, consider you are mixing the two water. Okay, two water, one is hot water and another is a cold water. And if you mix the hot water in a cold water, okay, so at that time that particular hot water will transfer the heat to the cold water, right? And after some time they will reach to the equilibrium state. Okay, after some time they will reach to the equilibrium state, and this particular heat transfer is mostly considered as a convection heat transfer. Okay, this heat transfer will be considered as a convection heat transfer. So its effectiveness means how fastly the hot water molecules transfer the heat to the cold water molecules. Okay, how fastly hot water molecules transfer the heat to the cold water molecules, that is nothing but a effectiveness. Okay, so that is nothing but a effectiveness of a heat transfer by convection. Okay, so the more the mixing motion, more heat will be transferred. Okay, more the mixing motion, more heat will be transferred. If you consider that uh, initially you have mixed that, but you have not stirred that particular liquid, so in that case effectiveness will be low. Okay, as you are not providing the mixing motion, so the slowly heat will be transferred from hot molecule or hot liquid to the cold liquid. When you start mixing or stirring that particular liquid, okay, at that time the effectiveness will increase. That is nothing but what, the hot molecules will transfer a heat very fastly to the cold molecule. Okay, so that the effectiveness of a heat transfer by convection depends largely upon the mixing motion of a fluid. Okay, mixing motion of a fluid. Then in convection, the fluid particles themselves moves and thus carry energy from a high temperature level to low temperature level. So this is the basic phenomena of a convection. In convection, what happens? Fluid particles themselves moves and thus carry energy from a high temperature level to low temperature level. Okay, and we remember, always remember that the heat is always transforming, whether it is conduction, convection, and radiation. With any mode you consider, heat is always transferring from high temperature region to a low temperature region. Okay, so in fluid, in case of a convection, the hot molecules will transfer to the cold, or a hot region molecule will transfer to the cold region molecule, and they carry the heat with themselves. Okay, and they carry the heat with themselves. Okay, and in this manner the convection phenomenon will happen. Okay, getting everyone? So simple. Now we try to understand this particular figure. Okay, we try to understand this particular figure. Now consider a copper plate. Okay, this is the copper plate, very thin copper plate having very small thickness. Okay, and this is the surface of that particular copper plate. Okay, this is the surface of that particular copper plate, and which is hanging in your room. Consider that this plate is hanging in your room, and which is maintained at temperature Ts, which is greater than T, temperature T suffix S is the temperature of a plate. Okay, temperature of a plate, or the surface temperature. You can say that surface temperature of a plate, which is maintained at higher temperature than the surrounding air temperature or surrounding atmospheric temperature. Okay, so Tf is a surrounding temperature of a fluid. Okay, here Tf you can consider that the fluid temperature. So here the fluid we need to consider as a air. Okay, here the fluid we have to consider as a air. Now this Tf temperature is less than the plate temperature. Okay, this is the hot plate, and we have suspended or hang this particular hot plate in a normal room, okay, which is maintained at whose atmospheric temperature is a TF, okay. Now what will happen in that particular case? What will happen? The air which is near to this particular plate, okay, the air which is near to this surface of the plate, okay, we called it as a immediate vicinity of a plate, okay, the air which is in the immediate vicinity of the plate, okay. म्हणजे काय, ह्या प्लेटला जी एअर जवळ आहे, चिटकून आहे, which is in a physical contact with that particular plate. I'm saying that the air which is in a physical contact with that particular plate, okay. So that is nothing but what? In that case, the air will get heated by conduction, okay. Simple thing. When the medium is in a immediate contact with the hot surface, it will get heated because of a conduction, okay. Once it will get heated, what will happen? Its density will get decreases, okay. As the temperature of a fluid, another important thing about the fluid, as the temperature of fluid goes on increasing, the fluid density goes on decreasing, okay. Important phenomena. As the temperature of a fluid goes on increasing, its density goes on decreasing, okay. So the air which is available at the immediate vicinity of this particular plate will get heated because of a conduction, because that air is in the contact with the plate, okay, physical contact with that particular plate, and due to that it will absorb, or it will get heated by conduction, and due to that heat transformation, the air will get heated and its temperature increases, okay. Due to that density of that particular air will get decreases, okay. Density of air will get decreases. So if the density decreases, okay, no problem. Now in that case, what will happen? The low density air or high temperature air will try to move in a upward direction, okay. So which air? Which is in the immediate vicinity of that particular surface, that where air will get heated, and that air try to move in a upward direction because its density is lesser than the surrounding air or the fluid which is present near to that, okay. So its density decreases, and due to that it will move in a upward direction. Now the surrounding air, okay, this particular air which is available away from the vicinity air, okay, will try to occupy the space of this particular air, okay, which is moved in a upward direction, okay. ज्यावेळेस हॉट एअर अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन न मूव्ह होईल, त्यावेळेस जी राहिलेली सराउंडिंगची एअर आहे ती ह्या हॉट एअरची प्लेस घ्यायला बघणार आहे, okay. So that particular air surrounding to the this particular plate will try to take the place of hot air, okay. And once it will take the place of a hot air, once again it will comes in the contact with the hot plate, okay, and it will get heated, and its density will decreases, and it will move in the upward direction. So up to what limit this particular phenomenon will run? Once the plate temperature will reach to the atmospheric temperature, at that time we can say that the plate is in equilibrium with the atmospheric air, and this phenomena will stop. And up to that particular point, this phenomena will run as it is. Now this particular phenomena is called as a convection, okay. Which phenomena? Now once again consider that phenomena. So here what we are discussing, the air in the immediate vicinity of plate will get heated, and its temperature decreases, also its density decreases, and because of that less denser air will move in a upward direction, and new air will take the place of that particular hot air. Once again that particular air will get heated, and it will move in the upward direction, okay. Now this current will form. Current means what? The flow field will form. What is happening? This air is moving in upward direction, hot air is moving in the upward direction, whereas the fresh air is taking place of this hot air, and once again it will heat it and it will move in a upward direction. This current is formed. Okay, current means what? The flow field will form here, and this flow field or the natural movement of a molecule will happen because of a density difference. Because of a density difference, this particular phenomena is called as a convection. In specific, this particular phenomenon is called as a natural convection, because the flow of a fluid happening naturally or because of a density difference. So that this phenomenon is called as a natural convection heat transfer. This phenomenon is called as a natural convection heat transfer. Getting everyone? Is there any question, any doubt? Whether you understood, or should I repeat once again? Is there any question? Any doubt? Shall I move ahead? Okay, please note down some points about the convection and draw this particular diagram. Okay, convection, somewhat complicated phenomena as compared to the conduction. Okay, so because here conduction is also happening and movement of a air is also happening, whereas in conduction there is no movement of a movement of a molecules is happening in convection, whereas in conduction there is no movement of a molecules. Okay, and due to movement of a molecules, heat is transferring, so that heat transfer is known as a convection. That heat transfer is known as a convection. Okay, so note down the points about the convection. Convection, give heading, second mode of heat transfer, that is the convection. Write down the first point. Convection is the transfer of heat. 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 Convection is the transfer of heat within a fluid. Within a fluid, convection is the transfer of heat within a fluid. Within a fluid, by mixing of one portion of a fluid, by mixing of one portion of a fluid with another, by mixing of one portion of a fluid with another, full stop. Next point. Convection is possible. Convection is possible. Convection is possible only in a fluid medium. Convection is possible only in fluid medium. Fluid medium. Fluid means what? Gases and liquids. Okay, so gases and liquids are the subset of a fluid. Okay, combinedly we called it as a fluid. Okay, so convection is possible only in a fluid medium. So and is directly and is directly linked with the transport of medium itself, and is directly linked with the transport of medium itself. Full stop. Itself. Full stop. Next, the effectiveness of heat transfer. The effectiveness of heat transfer. The effectiveness of heat transfer by convection. The effectiveness of heat transfer by convection depends largely upon depends largely upon the mixing motion of the fluid. Depends largely upon the mixing motion of the fluid. Mixing motion of the fluid. Next, in convection, in convection, in convection, the fluid particles or fluid molecules, the fluid particles or fluid molecules themselves move and 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 thus carry thus carry energy from a high temperature level energy from a high temperature level a high temperature level to low temperature level to low temperature level to low temperature level. Okay, full stop. So draw this diagram. Draw this diagram. Okay, so you can give the name for this particular plate as copper plate, which is maintained at a high temperature, higher than the atmospheric temperature. Okay, and this is the surface of the plate whose temperature is T suffix S, whose temperature is T suffix S. We can say that it is the surface temperature of a plate, surface temperature of a plate, T suffix S. So you can take the notification as capital T suffix S or the small t suffix S. Both are, we can say that we can use for the temperature, small t or capital T. So I'm trying to use the capital T. Okay. So capital T suffix S is the surface of a plate, surface temperature of a plate, whereas the surrounding air or the surrounding fluid temperature is capital T suffix F, that is the fluid temperature, T suffix F, and the fluid is flowing over this plate. Fluid is flowing over this plate naturally because of a density difference. Fluid is flowing over this particular plate naturally because of a density difference. Because of a density difference. Because of a density difference. Okay, so you here as Ts is greater than Tf, so that we will understand that heat is transforming from plate to the air or plate to the fluid. Okay, heat is transforming from plate to the air. So show the heat transfer arrow and give symbol it as a Q. Okay, heat transfer symbol Q. Whether you understood, everyone? Convection phenomenon. Is there any question, any doubt? Okay, great. Okay, shall I move ahead? Have you drawn this diagram? Please write down the description of this diagram. Consider, consider, consider a hot plate, hot copper plate. Consider a hot copper plate. Consider a hot copper plate. Consider a hot copper plate hanging in air. Consider a hot copper plate hanging in air hanging in air. The air layer, the air layer in the immediate vicinity of the plate, the air layer in the immediate vicinity of the plate, in the immediate vicinity of the plate gets heated up, gets heated up, gets heated up, gets heated up, comma, its density decreases, its density decreases, its density decreases, and therefore, and therefore, and therefore rises up, and therefore rises up, and therefore rises up, thus, thus carry away heat with it, thus carry away heat with it, thus carry away heat with it. Okay, thus carry away heat with it, thus carry away heat with it, the cooler air, the cooler air, the cooler air takes the place of, the cooler air takes the place of, the cooler air takes the place of the displaced hot air. The cooler air takes the place of the displaced hot air, comma, get heated, get heated, comma, comma, rises up, rises up, rises up, and 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 this process, and this process, and this process continues, and this process continues, continues till the, till the plate attain, till the plate attain, till the plate attain plate attain equilibrium, till the plate attain equilibrium with with room temperature, till the plate attain equilibrium with room temperature, full stop, till the plate attain equilibrium with room temperature, full stop. Next, in case of convection, in case of convection, fluid motion, fluid motion, fluid motion may occurs by density differences, may occurs by density differences, may occurs by density differences caused by caused by caused by temperature differences, may occurs by density differences caused by temperature differences, caused by temperature differences, full stop. Caused by temperature differences, full stop, over. So now just we have discussed that this is the free convection type, or there are two types of a convection. One is free convection and second one is forced convection. Okay, the free, it is also called as a natural convection because it is happening naturally without any external force or without any external device. The fluid is moving itself because of a density difference. Okay, because of a density difference. So this particular phenomenon is called as a free convection or a natural convection. Getting everyone? Without any external device, without any external pump, or without any external blower, fluid is moving naturally because of a density difference, and this density difference occurs because of a temperature difference. Okay, because of a temperature difference. So that the fluid movement happening, this phenomenon is called as a natural convection or a free convection. Natural convection or a free convection. Getting everyone? So write down free convection, free oblique natural convection, free oblique natural convection, free oblique natural convection. Free or natural convection. In that, write down its definition. You can say that this is the definition of free or natural convection. So free convection, free convection, free convection, free convection occurs when fluid circulates. Free convection occurs when fluid circulates. Free convection occurs when fluid circulates by virtue of by virtue of by virtue of free convection occurs when fluid circulate by virtue of natural differences in densities, natural differences in densities, natural differences in densities of hot and cold fluid, differences in densities of hot and cold fluid, natural differences in densities of hot and cold fluids. Okay, because we know that the denser fluid always moves in a downward direction, whereas less denser fluid is always moving in a upward direction. If you take the example of a density difference, that if you mix the water and oil, okay, so after mixing, after some time, you'll get the two layers. One is oil layer, and whereas another one is a water layer. Okay, so that is nothing but what the less denser fluid always moves in a upward direction, and more denser fluid always moves in a downward direction. Okay, so that is the density difference example. Okay, so if you mix oil and water, okay, in one jar or transparent jar you can take, okay, or transparent bowl you can take, and after some time you will get two layers, that is one is the oil layer and another is water layer. So that is nothing but what the denser material tries to move in a downward direction, and less denser liquid tries to move in a upward direction. In a similar manner, in a gases also, higher denser gases are always trying to move in a upward direction, whereas low denser gases always moves higher denser gases always moves in a downward direction, and more dense less denser gases always moves in a upward direction. Okay, upward direction. So that we know that uh, the the vapors, water vapors, are less denser than the air, so that it is moving in upward direction and forms the clouds, and the rainfall will happen. So this is the simple examples about the density differences. Okay, these are the simple examples of the density differences. Okay, so now next type of a convection is forced convection. Next type of a convection is a forced convection. So here I will try to give the second one. Okay, second type of a convection, and this one is a first type of a convection. Okay, free convection, and the next one is a forced convection. Now, what difference you can see here in a free convection and forced convection? What difference you can see here? So similar kind of a hot surface is there. Okay, but and there is a temperature difference between the hot surface and the cold fluid which is flowing over that particular surface, and that particular cold fluid get heated when it is comes in the contact with the hot surface. But what we are doing to blow the air over this particular surface, we are using one external device. Okay, to blow the air over this particular surface, we are using one external device. Okay, so if you are using some external device to blow the air, to carry out the heat from that particular surface forcefully, okay, to carry out the heat from that particular forcefully, or to achieve more effectiveness to related to the heat transfer, in that case we required some kind of a external device. Let us take the example, this fan is similar kind of a fan which is present in computer PCs. Okay, so what we are doing in that particular case, we want to remove out the heat of the internal devices as early as possible. Okay, as early as possible, so that we trying to blow the air over that devices. Okay, over that devices, so that in a less time maximum air will be carried out from the hot surface. In a less time maximum air will be carried out from the hot surface. Okay, maximum air will be carried out from that particular hot surface. Similar kind of a example you can take, why we are using fans in our rooms, because when you are getting inside the room, your temperature is high and you want to reduce your body temperature as early as possible. So in that case you start the room fan, and the air will flow over your body. Okay, and in that case the heat will be carried out by that particular air from your body. Okay, so forcefully we are transferring the air over the body or a hot surface to carry out the heat. Okay, naturally also it is happening. If you are if your body temperature is high, naturally also it will happen, but you want to increase the effectiveness of that particular heat transfer. So in that case you are using one external device to carry out the heat from the body. Okay, so that here we can say that one external device is used to carry out the heat from the hot surface. So forcefully we are blowing the air forcefully over that particular surface, and heat is carried out. Okay, so this particular heat transfer is known as forced convection heat transfer. Okay, this particular heat transfer is known as forced convection heat transfer. Getting everyone? The difference between free convection and forced convection heat transfer. Okay, so draw a simple diagram. Forced convection. Draw a simple diagram. Show one blower type over here. Blower symbol. Okay, 1D blower symbol you can show. Forced convection. Over. Okay, so write down the definition of forced convection. Write down the definition of forced convection. Forced convection. When the work is done, 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 to blow, to blow, to blow, or pump. Okay. So in case of air, we are using the blowers. In case of a fluid, in case of a liquid, we are using the pumps. Okay. So when the work is done to blow or pump, when the work is done to blow or pump the fluid, the fluid, the fluid, it is said to be, it is said to be forced convection. It is said to be forced convection. It is said to be forced convection. When the work is done to blow or pump the fluid, it is said to be forced convection. Getting everyone? Any doubt, any question? Okay, great. Okay, so the next heading, you had Newton's law of cooling. Okay, Newton's law of cooling. So which is called as governing law of heat convection, governing law of heat convection or convection heat transfer, governing law of convection heat transfer. The convection heat transfer governed by Newton's law of cooling. Convection heat transfer governed by Newton's law of cooling. So for the same purpose, you are considering this particular figure. Okay. So the T suffix S is the surface temperature. T suffix F is the fluid temperature which is flowing over that particular surface. And in this particular case, the surface temperature is greater than the fluid temperature, so that the heat is transforming from the surface to the fluid. Okay, heat is transforming from the surface to the fluid. Okay. Now, in this particular case, the Newton's law of cooling estimate the convection heat transfer per unit area is directly proportional to the difference between surface temperature and fluid temperature. Simple law. The rate of convection heat transfer per unit area. Okay. The rate of convection heat transfer per unit area is directly proportional to the difference between surface temperature and fluid temperature. To the difference between surface temperature and fluid temperature. In the equation format, we can write Q by A. That is nothing but heat transfer per unit area. Okay, Q is the heat transfer rate and A is the surface area available for the heat transfer. So Q by A is directly proportional to temperature difference between surface and fluid. Temperature difference between surface and fluid. So we can write the equation as Q by A directly proportional to Ts minus Tf. Q by A directly proportional to Ts minus Tf. Okay. Whereas this Q is the heat transfer rate, A is the surface area available for the heat transfer, T suffix S is the surface temperature of that particular plate, and T suffix F is the fluid temperature which is flowing over that particular plate. Okay. Now we have to normalize this particular equation. Normalize means what? We have to remove out this particular proportionality sign and we have to introduce the equal to sign. So for that purpose, we have to introduce one constant. Okay, we have to introduce one constant, and we have shifted this A on this side. So we'll get the equation as Q is equal to H multiplied by A multiplied by into bracket Ts minus Tf. Okay, H multiplied by A multiplied by Ts minus Tf, where H is the proportionality constant. Okay, and A is the surface area and Ts minus Tf is the difference between surface temperatures of surface temperature and the fluid temperature. Getting everyone? Now this H is called as a convective heat transfer coefficient. Okay, where in conduction we have introduced one constant as a K. In conduction we have introduced one constant K, which is called as a thermal conductivity. Here in convection we have introduced one proportionality constant, that is nothing but a small h, which is called as a convective heat transfer coefficient. Okay, which is called as a convective heat transfer coefficient. So the Q is equal to H multiplied by A multiplied by Ts minus Tf is the governing equation for the convection. Is the governing equation for the convection. Simple Newton's law of cooling. Okay. In case of conduction, we have discussed the Fourier's law of conduction, whereas in convection, the governing law for the convection is Newton's law of cooling, and it stated the rate of convective heat transfer per unit area is directly proportional to the difference between surface temperature and fluid temperature. Getting everyone? Any doubt? Any question? So please note down Newton's law of cooling. Newton's law of cooling. Newton's law of cooling. Newton's law of cooling. Write down the statement. Write down the statement. The rate of convective heat transfer rate of convective heat transfer rate of convective heat transfer per unit area rate of convective heat transfer per unit area per unit area is directly proportional is directly proportional to the difference between the difference between to the difference between to the difference between surface temperature surface temperature and fluid temperature and fluid temperature surface temperature and fluid temperature surface temperature and fluid temperature. So statement, right, equation mathematically we can write, mathematical statement we can write q by a is directly proportional to ts minus tf ts minus tf. So next we have to normalize this equation, and normalization will happen by introduce the proportionality constant, by introducing the proportionality constant. So q is equal to h multiplied by a, q is equal to h multiplied by a into bracket t suffix s minus t suffix f minus t suffix f. For the understanding purpose also you can draw this once again, no problem. Or I have written these two equations. This is the statement of Newton's law of cooling, mathematical statement we can say that, and we have normalized this particular mathematical statement in this particular by introduce the constant of proportionality. You can write q is equal to where q is equal to rate of convective heat transfer, where q is equal to rate of convective heat transfer, q is equal to rate of convective heat transfer and in bracket you can write the unit is watt. Then capital A is equal to area exposed to heat transfer, or area available for heat transfer also, area exposed to heat transfer, and its unit is meter square. In bracket you can write down unit meter square. Then next t suffix s is equal to capital T suffix s is equal to surface temperature surface temperature. Then next T suffix f fluid temperature, T suffix f is equal to fluid temperature, and unit for surface temperature and fluid temperature is degree Celsius. Okay, degree Celsius or degree Kelvin, because if you add 273 in this particular TS, and if you add the 273 in this particular TF, we are taking the difference only. So if you take the Kelvin or degree Celsius, there will not be a difference in a value. Okay, There will not be a difference in a value. Okay, so you can take the temperature in case of a convection, degree Celsius or degree Kelvin. Both are possible because we are getting the same value. Okay, degree Celsius or degree Kelvin. Then H is equal to convective heat transfer coefficient. Next one, H is equal to convective heat transfer coefficient. Convective heat transfer coefficient. Okay, so in the next lecture we'll discuss the unit of convective heat transfer coefficient, definition of convective heat transfer coefficient, and significance of convective heat transfer coefficient. Also the analogy between Newton's law of cooling and the electrical system. Okay, so analogy for Newton's law of cooling and electrical system. Electrical analogy for convective heat transfer. So by doing this electrical analogy, we will get the thermal resistance for the convective heat transfer. We'll get the thermal resistance for convective heat transfer. Getting everyone? So if you have any doubt, you can ask. If you don't have any doubt, you can put up your roll numbers in the chat box, and you can join the next lecture of Mori sir. Okay. So everyone, just put up your roll numbers. Remaining students, immediately join another meeting. Put your roll numbers in the chat box and join another meeting. Nihal, Kanaya, Vaibhav, Paras. You can leave this particular meeting and join another meeting. Put up your roll numbers 26, 58, 53.